Horizon Gents, one was reaction, and this is 3 ways to destroy the universe. Kurzgesagt in a nutshell. Yeah, it's my favorite time to react a science video. So yeah, this is gonna be fun. Kurzgesagt is a great channel who explain things using animation. This is basically Vsauce with animation. I don't know, but yeah, this is just fun. How will the universe die? Everybody dies. The universe too. Well, probably. What are the current theories about the end of the universe? Yeah. I think he's going to talk about proton decay here. I'm pretty sure that's going to be one of those things. What else is there? I don't know. The heat death, freezing of the world. I don't know. We'll see. I looked at quite a few Kurzgesagt videos already. If you haven't seen them, check out the cars. There's a playlist I created for it, Kurzgesagt reaction. Check out the playlist too, like Real Life Rose, CGP Grey, Internet Historian, Salmonella, things like that, Tier Zoo. And yeah, let's watch this one. Remember people, this is Kurzgesagt video. It might get blocked, so I have to put checkered box there, but if it annoys you that much, play the original video side by side. And yeah, let's watch this one.
One day the universe will die, but why and how? And will the universe be dead forever? And how do we know that? First of all, the universe is expanding, and not only that, the rate of its expansion is accelerating. The reason? Dark energy. Dark energy is a strange phenomenon that scientists believe permeates the universe. Until 1998, we thought that the universe must work a bit like a ball that you throw into the sky. The ball moves up, but at some point it has to come down again. But the expansion of the universe is actually speeding up. That's like throwing a ball up and watching it fly away faster and faster and faster. Throwing
okay,
a
what
ball
was
up
that? Was
and
the Death
watching
Star?
it fly away fast.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think that's, in a way you could think that, but yeah, I think it was that, Big Bang was a basically massive expansion. So because of its effect, everybody thought that, the matter inside this Big Bang would, its gravity would eventually stop the expansion and pull everything inside and everything would just collapse. That's what everybody thought, but it's not happening at the rate people thought it would. And if anything, it's speeding up actually the expansion. And people think, that's not right. But then they realize there's some energy called dark energy that is actually pushing things apart. Now, what is dark energy? Nobody knows. It's just a word. You could just measure its effect. You can't even see it. There's nothing there. But it's just pushing things apart. So people are thinking it could be anything. It could be some alternate universe or something that has some kind of a gravity effect, or maybe it's just one of the special properties space has that it just expands. Who knows? Nobody knows what dark energy is. Same thing with the dark matter. So yeah, everybody thought eventually it will slow down, stop, and collapse back. And it would all get basically how star when it explodes rebound. That's what people thought, but it's not happening. It's speeding up
Faster and faster and faster. Where is this acceleration coming from? Well, we don't know, but we call it dark energy. Einstein thought of it first and then decided it was stupid. Now, astrophysicists have decided it is plausible. Trouble is, this is all very theoretical, and we don't.
I think Einstein thought it's stupid not because it's not there. Obviously, it makes sense in a way. So he didn't thought that it's he thought it's stupid because you don't know anything what that is. So giving it a name like dark energy or something like that makes you think that it is something that you have some idea of. But no, there is something that just accelerating the expansion, and that's it. So that's why he probably thought stupid.
We don't actually know what the properties of dark energy are, but there are various theories, and they lead us to 3 scenarios for the.
Yeah, okay, big rip. So this is basically that thing, how universe is expanding faster and faster. So one day, obviously there will be a time where it accelerates at the so fast level that molecules, atoms, every matter, even the space itself will rip apart just because of this speed. That's big rip. Heat death, like I said earlier, heat death is one thing that all the astrophysics and people, I don't know, anybody in the physics area basically believes that this is more plausible. Heat death and big freeze. Basically, you have these pockets of energy and heat. So there will be one day where this pocket of energy and heat will disperse into the cold areas, and there will be no net heat and energy left to sustain life or anything. So there's a quote Neil deGrasse Tyson says that the universe will not end with a bang but with a whimper. It will not end in fire but in ice. So that's what heat death and big freeze is. Big crunch. Yeah, big crunch is, I think, that thing, unless I'm wrong, I don't know. But big crunch is that thing. The universe is expanding, but one day it will stop and fall back again. And, it will crunch into a ball again, and then big bang happen again, and the cycle will continue. I think that's what that is. Big crunch and big bounce. But yeah. So, yeah, the heat death one makes more sense. Big rip, I don't know. I mean, could happen, sure. But heat death is the one thing where every astrophysicist in the world, and even, theoretical physics is like, people like Brian Greene and people believe that this is more plausible. But yeah.
End of the universe. One, the Big Rip. Since its birth, the universe has been expanding. For unknown reasons, new space is created everywhere equally. The space between galaxies expands, so they move apart. The space inside galaxies also expands, but here gravity is strong enough to keep them together. In the Big Rip scenario, the expansion accelerates up to a point where space expands so fast that gravity can't compensate for this effect anymore. The result is a Big Rip. At first, only large structures like galaxies are torn apart since space between the single objects expands very fast. Next, big bodies like black holes, stars, and planets die. Their gravity isn't strong enough to keep them together, so they dissolve into their components. In the end, space would expand faster than the speed of light. Atoms would now be affected, and they would just disband. Once space is expanding faster than light, no particle in the universe can interact with any other particle anymore. The universe would dissolve into countless lonely particles that won't be able to touch anything else in a strange, timeless universe. And you thought you felt lonely. 2. Heat death, or a big freeze. In a nutshell,
you'd have to assume that for big rip to happen, it will just accelerate at that ridiculous amount, and there is no reason to not assume that, since the acceleration is continuously speeding up since the Big Bang. But I don't know, heat death feels like it's more plausible, because heat death will probably happen way before than big rip could happen. So that's the
difference between the Big Rip and heat death is that in a heat death scenario, matter stays intact and is converted over an incredibly long but finite period of time into radiation while the universe expands forever. But how does this work? Let's talk about entropy. Every system tends towards the state of highest entropy, like when we have a latte macchiato. Initially, it has different regions, but over time they will cool down and disintegrate until it's uniform. And this also applies to the universe.
Yeah.
So while the universe gets bigger and bigger, matter slowly decays and spreads out. At some point, after lots of generations of stars, all the gas clouds necessary to form stars will be exhausted, so the universe will turn dark. The remaining suns will die. Black holes will slowly degenerate and evaporate over trillions of years due to what's known as Hawking radiation. When this process is complete, only a dilute gas of photons and light particles remains until even this decays. All activity in the universe ceases at this point. Entropy is at its maximum, and the universe is dead forever.
Yeah, basic way to think this is, there are hot pockets of the universe, where there is energy, and there are cold pockets of the universe. So basically hot energy and cold energy will disperse and become at one, cold temperature. So there won't be any energy and, hotness will be there to, create anything. So yeah, one day it will just, die down slowly.
Unless, theoretically, it might be possible that after an incredibly long amount of time, there might be a spontaneous entropy decrease as a result of something called quantum tunneling, leading to a new Big Bang. 3. Big crunch and big bounce. This is the most uplifting scenario. If there is less dark energy than we think, or it decreases over time, gravity will be the dominating force in the universe one day. In a few trillion years, the rate of expansion of the universe will slow down and stop. After that, it reverses. Galaxies will race at each other, merging as the universe becomes smaller and smaller. Since a smaller universe also means a hotter universe, temperatures rise everywhere all at once. 100,000 years before the Big Crunch, background radiation would be hotter than the surfaces of most stars, which means that they would be cooked.
Yeah, this is more better scenario. We all will die with heat, and then eventually universe will, crunch into one single ball and will explode again. I guess it is, since the universe will continue to, cycle it through, I guess.
From the outside. Minutes before the Big Crunch happens, atom cores are ripped apart before supermassive black holes devour everything. Finally, all black holes would merge into a supermassive mega black hole that contains the entire mass of the universe, and in the last moment before the Big Crunch, it would devour the universe, including itself. The Big Bounce theory states that this has happened a lot of times and that the universe goes through an infinite cycle of expansion and contraction. Well, wouldn't that be nice? So what will actually happen to the universe in the end? At the moment, heat death seems the most likely.
Yeah.
But we at Kurzgesagt hope that this dead forever stuff is wrong and the universe will start over and over again. We don't know for sure either way.
Everybody will live happily ever after. No, heat death is, like I said, most scientists around the world believe that's more plausible thing. But yeah, who the hell knows, man? It's such a long time right now, so yeah, maybe we will, find discoveries. We will advance at the stage that we will be able to detect things in the space. That it's like, how archaeologists find fossils that tells us how there were dinosaur once. Maybe fossil equivalent of the things we'll be able to find in space that would tell us what was there before Big Bang, or how it all started. Is there a cycle or not? So yeah, right now it's just guessing game.
So let's just assume the most uplifting theory is true.
Yeah.
By the way,
This was an awesome video. 3 ways to destroy the universe. Yeah. Heat death feels more likely. Big rip. Everything will just rip apart. It's just terrifying. And yeah, that bouncing back things, big crunch, big bounce. If it's that, when you really think about it, we don't know anything right now. So universe just came into existence with Big Bang. And one day it will just die out and there will be nothing there. That feels really, I don't know, special event type of thing. Like there was never a universe, then one day just universe came, it lived for a few trillion or whatever years, and then it died out, and there is no universe. It feels like a special event. And when it comes to big events and big things like this, it's usually not that. There's no special events like that. It's usually a cycle. So I like to believe it's big crunch and big bounce. It feels like that should be the thing. Like there is infinite amount of cycle where just there is matter, there's always a big bang, there's always a big big crunch. It makes more sense. I don't know. Alright people, that was 3 ways to destroy the universe. If you like my reaction, don't forget to like and subscribe. Check out the reaction. There's a link in the description. Check out the cast, all the playlists, check out the end cards, and I'll see you next time.